going back to my colleague Shivani as well for more on this. Shivani, we have seen as to how this can be seen as a massive breakthrough. One that they have issued, India and China have issued a joint press release after the 10th round of talks. And now the focus will be back on the other friction points, isn't it? That be it Gogra Heights, be it Hot Springs or Depsang Plains.
If we go through the statement, which has been released right now by both the countries, the joint statement, and it reveals that the focus right now of the Indian diplomacy is to ease the tension. Because we know this was the first meeting at Moldo that went on for 16 hours. And it was the first meeting after the disengagement from the Pangong Tso region. So what the statement reads is that it was reviewed how smoothly the disengagement from Pangong Tso region has been carried out. So one point, very important point, was that the review of the disengagement that happened, that started on 10th of February from the north and the south of Pangong Tso. And the second very important thing is that the dialogue will remain open. So the communication will remain open for, as we also heard Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on 11th of February when he was talking and uprising the House. He said that the outstanding issues remain and we are working on them, we are talking on them. And maybe we take a number of more talks, round of talks. But India believes in peaceful resolution. It believes in dialogue, though it's very much prepared for any kind of situation along the LAC with its deployments in place, with its infantry, its armored and all the establishments in place. But the first priority of India is to peacefully resolve the issue through dialogue. So maybe when we read the statement, it is just mentioning about how it was reviewed about the disengagement from Pangong Tso region and how further also both the countries aim at conducting dialogue and discuss further friction points. Like we all know that the agenda of meeting yesterday was disengagement from Hot Springs and Gogra and Depsang Plains. But when the statement that has come, it shows that both the countries don't want to speed up the whole issue. They want to go, especially India, because India has been dealing strategically and diplomatically very strongly on this whole issue.
And in fact, Shivani, if we look into that entire joint statement that has been issued by India and China, it is certainly a step, positive step forward. Reading out from that as well, and I quote, the two sides positively apprise the smooth completion or disengagement of the frontline troops in the Pangong Lake area, noting that it was a significant step forward. Going back to my colleague Shivani. Shivani, this is certainly, this entire statement, if we read from it, it looks as a positive step forward for both the sides.
Exactly, this is a positive step indeed, because when both the countries are releasing a joint statement and they admit that we will go further with dialogue, so it's definitely hopeful. We are quite hopeful, and India is quite hopeful that it can resolve the issue. We also have guests with us, Dr. Sriram. Very warm welcome on Republic. I would like to ask you that, what do you think the statement which has come? Is it strategically revealing not about the Depsang and the Hot Springs and Gogra which were discussed yesterday, or India and China want to take a little more time to discuss on those issues?
Well, I think it's going to be a long haul. We should be cautious in reading too much into Chinese assurances, and Chinese often do doublespeak, and they have long-term objectives of maintaining pressure on India at different points along the LAC. So if you see the pattern, the Depsang, which is the main bone of contention, they had started this parallel to the Pangong Tso last year. And because they knew that Pangong Tso, ultimately, if the Indians find leverage and push them back there, they have other points on which to bargain with us and to continue to pressurize us. So I think with China, it is indeed a patient game. One has to also keep in mind a global situation. After the Biden administration came in the US, the Chinese thought they may have a softer opponent in Washington. But Biden has clarified a harder line. So I think they have become a little more amenable to maybe working out some of their disputes, at least for now. But then there is the weather factor. It is still extremely cold. We cannot discount a hot summer coming back later this year. So that's why, yes, I think Narendra Modi, always our policy of our Prime Minister has been to seek peace through strength. So what we have done this time, both in Pangong Tso and also now with the mirror deployments in Depsang, is to show the Chinese we will not budge 1 inch. Because earlier they used to, make demands in one sector, then look for quid pro quo in other sectors, and finally gain some access and do some more intrusions. Now what they are finding is India is not yielding a single inch. So I think it's also a realization on their part, because 1 year they thought it was like a battle of wills. Let us see who will blink first. They thought, the Indians cannot stay through the winter. They are just bluffing. They are suffering from corona. The economy, Indian economy is weak. We are strong. They thought that they had the advantage of asymmetry. That they are much more powerful and they can impose their will. That did not happen. So with Depsang also, I think they are not going to concede very quickly. It's going to be a long haul. We have to have many more core commander level meetings, even political, diplomatic ones. And we have to bring in the US factor, because always the US factor is a triangle, China, US, India. And we have to apply other forms of pressure on them, ultimately to restore the status quo ante in Depsang. So I think we are prepared for the long haul. And in the meanwhile, we have to be watchful that they are not ingressing on other sectors and some other points along the western sector, the Ladakh sector, because that's where they've got many points from which they could try to intrude and again set up fortifications and again make a demand. This is the perpetual problem of China. We have to be prepared for perpetual problem. There's not going to be any lasting peace. We have to face more crises and more challenges.
That has been made, and also bringing in Colonel Rohit Dev also into this conversation. Richa and Shivani, Colonel Rohit Dev is also joining us live. It's significant because I don't know how many people have seen the significance of the mention in this joint press release that there is a consensus, there is an importance, and let me get the words. The exact words are, and I'm just opening that, please excuse me for about 5 seconds while I open it. The exact words that are mentioned here are that the two sides agreed to follow the important consensus of their state leaders. I repeat, the two sides agreed to follow the important consensus of their state leaders, continue communication and dialogue. So I think there's a larger message that comes through this this joint statement that has been issued, Colonel Dev, one that augurs well for both sides, and also one that hints at the diplomatic pressure that India has been able to put on China, because it speaks about the consensus of state leaders. I repeat, state leaders as mentioned in this press release. Colonel Dev.
Right. So this is a departure from the last 3 to 4 decades, and these were the exact operating words which caught my eye as well. When you see this statement, it actually stems from the political will of our nation, and it is the diplomatic tool which has been very, very effectively used. You have seen over the last 3 to 4 months how the Quad, how the U.S. strategic relationship, and how our interaction with countries like even France and Israel and others, including in the South China Sea and Taiwan, has shaped up. So if you see the overall gamut of the geopolitics being played very effectively by our nation, including at the United Nations, and our ability to subjugate the propaganda, which is the three warfare principle of China in the last 3 or 4 months, and the supremacy we are gaining, that is most important in the economic realm, which we are trying to leverage now, is something which has caught the eye of the Chinese think tank. They have been under pressure right from the Galwan times, when they could even talk about their dead, till today. They have been under huge geopolitical and economic pressure from the Indian kind of a proactiveness which we have exuded over the period of time. Having said that, there are 3 things which we need to be very careful about. China, from the year 2006 or so, and especially after in the last decade, when they have been able to, the last 4 or 5 years, have the change of their military regions shaping up under the Western Command. Fortunately for them, they thought that they would be able to drive the military advantage, and the philosophy of creating elbow space, and this is the key word which you must understand, that China, with anybody who's got disputes with China in terms of land boundaries, attempts to create elbow space. Unfortunately, unlike Russia, where Russia could dictate terms to China, we have a land which we have not emphasized upon being as Tibet in the last couple of decades. And that has been to our disadvantage. But a subtle messaging was done by the previous US President Donald Trump in calling out for Tibet being an independent state. And from there stems the strategic relationship in which we don't have to talk. There are many more other partners who are willing to walk the talk along with us and call out China's aggression into the Tibetan region. So that is the point which India has garnered support. And without speaking a word about it, we have been able to convey the message. The Moldo region, what we call taking of the Blacktop area and others during this kind of period before the winter set in, has put China under a tactical military disadvantage, not strategic, not operational. Believe you me that China has got a mobilization differential advantage against our country in those regions. And that is why wherever we pull back or disengage, we have to be very wary to be able to occupy those same heights or caress new grounds to be able to keep China under a little bit of pressure. In the next 5 to 7 years, and maybe not every year, you will find, like we had in Doklam and now we had in Galwan, you will have these standoffs directly between the two nations along the LAC. And that is what our country is preparing for. You saw the advantage we took of building up our surface communication and infrastructure development and also acquisition of forces, whether it be Air Force or otherwise, during this exact period from June onwards. So the will to put the mechanized forces in, the will to use Air Force, the will to relocate ITBP positions along the LAC is something which our political nod, which has given to the forces, has been very gainfully utilized. And we were at position of advantages in more than appreciable locations. So this is something which India must look at. And I'm quite happy that for the first time, we are having decisions on the LAC which are governed by resolute diplomatic, economic, and political will. And that is what a nation, should shape into. You had China, which always takes military actions based on political will. And their political mandate and a long-term horizon is very well known. And that is something which India has recently started to, embark upon a journey. We are 3 decades behind militarily. But with this 3 to 4, years from 2017 Doklam case, till now, I believe that the political will is resolute. I believe that the diplomatic advances which is being accrued with our multilateral tie-ups, multilateral relations, strategic relations, and also our posturing by the time Mr. Syed Akbaruddin was there in the UN, has actually shaped our country. So we have, on one hand, nullified a state called Pakistan. We have taken that thorn out of the context. So it's no more a military, kind of a situation to face Pakistan. And now we can devote resources. You will find coming summers, when the Pakistani theater is a little more narrowed down and mellowed down, we will be able to put more reserves, more mechanized forces, and more wherewithal on the LAC. So that is something which we have to do for 5-7 years till we have best infrastructure and also the force accretion required is also built up by our country. So that is the short point which we are looking at China. But last point is, please don't believe China. Don't think that this mutual disagreement of 25 kilometers going from a line is beneficial to our state. It is not, because if you only go as for mathematical calculations and breaking of few bunkers, China has got the potential to reach there faster than us by many days. So that is something which we need to look out. So Israel, US are helping us with all kind of getting the intelligence, satellite imagery, constant monitoring.
Can I come in,
and
sir?
While these, please go ahead. Please
No,
go
I
ahead.
wanted to, go back to the point that you made, and I think that was the critical point. Sriram, taking away from what Colonel Dev said, that it's perhaps for the first time, because you've always seen a belligerent China be adamant and aggressive, especially on the perception of the line of actual control or the LAC. For the first time ever, perhaps, I don't know whether it has happened in the past. We will have to go back and do some research. But if they are on record in a joint press release saying that they're willing to go back and resolve issues and move back and disengage at the LAC, which they have been very, very adamant about, I think it tells you the larger story of the big breakthrough. I don't know. I think we're being very sort of mellowed in our assessment of this. I think it's a bigger breakthrough than what we initially thought it could be at Pangong.
Niranjan, India has changed. There's no doubt about it. I remember the Prime Minister came in 2014 itself. The Chinese did an early test in Chumar sector. This is before Doklam. And there, we sent so many reinforcements, we outnumbered them by 3 to 4 times. We had more force projection there than the Chinese could imagine. And this happened when Xi Jinping was visiting India and was in Ahmedabad. And PM reportedly asked him, when are your troops going to leave Indian territory? So I think we have been very forthright on this. Under Modi ji, what has happened is we have done plain talking and we have not been wishy-washy. You see, our view has always been the relationship with China can progress only if they stop threatening us and our national security and our territorial integrity. Earlier, under Manmohan Singh and previous governments, what they used to do was, okay, we'll keep aside these differences and we'll do business. And we will promote Chindia, the so-called, integration of the two countries into a single economy and all that. So this was the kind of mentality that was preventing us from taking a strong stance. Now it is security first. You see, India first and security first. So definitely there's a difference in our overall approach to China. And they tested us repeatedly and they thought that they can actually impose their will. Because last year they did not expect that by August we will turn the tables on them and that Indian army will take over the Kailash range and the top, the hilltops of the south bank of Pangong. So I think with Depsang also we need leverage. We have some leverage. We are going to acquire more leverage and that's how we're going to dislodge them. It's not through plain talks. It is through demonstration of strategic resolve. And resolve not in one incident or in one theatre. We have to show this on a consistent basis, and that's what I think Modi government has done. So I think the Chinese have to respect. Chinese are very big players of realpolitik and what we call Machtpolitik. Pure hard power matters a lot to them, and they respect strength. And if they sense weakness, if they sense a vulnerability, they'll pounce on you and they'll sit on your head. What Modi has done is reduce our vulnerabilities and show them our strongest face. So definitely I think there is a difference. This is a new India and I think the Chinese are not going to have their way like they used to in the past.
Sriram, I wanted to interrupt you there because I have to take a short break at this point, but I want both you and Colonel Rohit Dev, to join us because we're going to pick this up at 8 o'clock and also at 9 o'clock on Republic TV because it's a big breakthrough. There is a larger hint that comes through in the statement of consensus of state leaders to be followed. Now, is there a hint of talks at an altogether different level? We will have to wait and watch, but the fact that the Chinese have come on record and said they will disengage at the LAC is, I think, a big breakthrough for both sides. We'll take a short break at this point. On that note, Sriram and Colonel Dev, thank you. Richa and Shivani, we'll have to take a short break now. We'll come back with the focus on all the other big stories across India. Stay tuned.